Hi, and welcome to the Relational Dialectics theory of Leslie Baxter and Barbara Montgomery. Here's where we're going. The Tug-of-War, Dialectics of Close Relationships. 3 dialectics that affect relationships. Second generation of dialectics. Bakhtin on dialogue. Ethical reflection. Sissela principle of veracity. Critique, meeting the criteria for a good interpretive theory. Baxter and Montgomery analyzed tensions in romantic relationships and began cataloging contradictions. They looked at forces that strain relationships among close friends and family members. Relational dialectics is the dynamic knot of contradictions in personal relationships, the unceasing interplay between contrary or opposing tendencies. Tug-of-War dialectics of close relationships. Contradiction is a core concept of relational dialectics. The dynamic interplay between unified oppositions characterizes this theory. They draw heavily on Bakhtin, who saw dialectic tensions as the deep structure of human experience. Bakhtin saw dialectical tension as an opportunity for dialogue. Contradiction continued. Baxter argued that communication exerts a simultaneous pulls on both ends of a taut line, a relational rope under tension. Dialectical tension is a natural product or unavoidable result of our conversations. Contradictions can be constructive. 3 dialectics that affect relationships. Internal dialectics. These are ongoing tensions played out within a relationship. External dialectics. These are ongoing tensions between a couple and their community. There are 3 contradictions: integration and separation, stability and change, and expression and non-expression. Integration and separation includes connection and autonomy, inclusion and seclusion, intimacy and independence. Stability and change includes certainty and uncertainty, conventionality and uniqueness, predictability and surprise, and routine and novelty. Expression and non-expression includes openness, closeness, revelation and concealment, candor and secrecy, transparency and privacy. Typical dialectic tensions experienced by relational partners. Pause this frame and reflect on your own relationships. Think about your relationships not only with your relational partners, but other relationships as well. Also consider your own examples for each of these constructs. Drilling down on Bakhtin's concept of dialogue. Dialogue as a constitutive process. Dialogue is communication that is constitutive. It's always in flux. It's capable of achieving aesthetic moments. Constitutive dialogue is communication that creates, sustains, and alters relationships in social worlds. A second generation of dialectics. Dialogue as utterance change. An utterance is what a person says in one conversational turn. Utterance chains are central building blocks of meaning making, where utterances are linked to competing discourses already heard as well as those yet to be spoken. These can include cultural ideologies, relational history, not yet spoken response of partner to utterance, normative evaluation of third-party utterances. Spiraling inversion is switching back and forth between two contrasting voices. Segmentation is a compartmentalizing tactic by which partners isolate different aspects of their relationship. Dialogue as dialectical flux. Dialectical flux is characterized by the unpredictable, unfinalizable, indeterminate nature of personal relationships. Dialogue as an aesthetic moment. An aesthetic moment is fleeting sense of unity through a profound respect for desperate voices in dialogue. Dialogue is a critical sensibility. A critical sensibility is an obligation to critique dominant voices, especially those who suppress opposing viewpoints. A responsibility to advocate for those who are muted. Take a moment and pause and take a look at the messiness of personal relationships. Consider your own applications in this diagram. Ethical reflection. Sissela Bach's principle of veracity. Bach rejects absolute prohibition of lying. Bach also rejects consequential ethics, in other words, judging actions solely on the basis of their beneficial or harmful outcomes. The principle of veracity is truthful statements are preferable to lies in the absence of special circumstances that overcome their negative weight. Critique. Meeting the criteria for a good interpretive theory. Some communication scholars question whether relational dialectics should be labeled as a theory at all. It does offer a new understanding of people, a community of agreement, clarification of values, reform of society, and aesthetic appeal. This concludes our discussion of relational dialectics.